everybody. My name is Kels.
I'm Kenz.
And this is Kels and Kenz Read. It's been a hot minute. Life happens. So thank you for hanging in there and joining us again today. We have missed you. And of course, I'm sure you missed us. So back to our usual, we didn't stop reading through this time. So what are you reading right now, Kenz?
I am reading Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. I have like 45 pages left. She's good. I like it. I've flew through it. But yeah, she's good. What are you reading?
I am currently in between books at the moment. Though I am listening to, I think it's Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I'm listening to it. I've been going on a lot of walks recently and then running. So I like to listen to a book when I run and walk because it gives me something to think about other than the fact that I'm running. So
yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. But then I also need to start physically reading a novel love story by Ashley Poston.
That's my next one. We should let you read it.
Oh my god, we should.
Yeah.
I'll probably start it either tonight or this week.
I've heard mixed reviews about it. And I'm kind of sad because of how much I loved The 7-Year Slip. I also love The Dead Romantics, which a lot of other people who've been kind of reading this book didn't like the same. They didn't love The Dead Romantics, and I loved The Dead Romantics.
I liked it. I really liked it. I think I rated that one a 4.
Yeah, I think I gave that one a 4.5. I mean, 7-Year Slip is like a 6 for me.
Yeah, that one was really good. All right, well, today we are going to hop on the mid-year book tag trend. We're a little late, but it's in the middle month, ish. We're in the middle still. There's still a whole half of a year left. So, whatever. Yeah. All right, so kicking off with number 1, best book you've read so far in 2024.
Oh, I have so many. Okay, but so I finally read Powerless by Lauren Asher.
Thank God.
Lauren Asher. No,
Lauren Roberts.
I read another one. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. That one. You finally convinced me to read that one. I loved it.
Thank God. Yes.
Reckless by Elsie Silver. I am waiting for you to get here. I am like, that book did something to me, and I couldn't tell you why. Honestly, I ate it up. And I don't want to spoil anything for you, so I'm trying not to say anything, because I don't know if it's technically a spoiler.
I looked it up.
Did you really know?
It's Theo in winter, right?
Yes, but do you know the trope? But yeah, okay, I'm not gonna say anything else, but that book ripped my heart out of my chest. I love that man. I don't think I've ever had a book that wasn't a fantasy, a romantasy, that I was that's my book boyfriend. It's always been Rowan and Reese, and now I'm Theo.
Theo's up there. Dang.
Oh
okay, I will get on that.
Adore him. So that one might be so far my favorite book I've literally read this year.
Okay.
And then I loved Bride by Ali Hazelwood.
Yeah.
Cute little niche book, but she was fun. I liked it. Excited for yours.
Yes.
Favorites.
So, the first one is kind of a combination. It's a whole series, but From Blood and Ash, the series. I still have the last book to read, but my God, that book series is so good. And the first book, and then the plot twist at the end, and then it just opens up so much more. It is so good. I'm obsessed.
When I tell you that I I couldn't wait for you to read these books because like
speechless.
The only person that I knew who had read them like was my sister, and she didn't like them. And I'm like over here, and I'm like, I'm eating these up. Like,
yeah, no, like I am eating this.
I'm like, these are good. Hawke is awesome. Like, I freaking love him. Poppy's a badass. I was like,
she is.
I'm like, no, these are good. And so like when you said that you liked it, I was like, oh yes. And now it's funny because we're at the same spot. Like, I still haven't read the last two. I don't know if that one is considered. It's like in between both of the prequel series and this series, you know what I mean? The new one that just came out.
Vision of
the Willa whatever one.
Yeah. I didn't know if that was just like her journal or something, so I don't know what that is. It's considered
like a blank point, I think 5.5. So I don't know, but it's like a collab between.
Okay.
I think both. I don't know. But yeah, I still have to read the next one, but I'm
A Soul of
Blood and
Ash and Blood. Yep.
Yeah.
Then, of course, aside from Blood and Ash, Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. That was another one of our book club books. It was so good to read as being in the stage of life that we're in.
Yeah.
And so it was very, like, relatable. Next and final best book of 2024 so far is Binding 13. I love this series. I love this series so much, especially Binding and Keeping 13, which is kind of answering the next question. But
what is that, Johnny and Shannon?
Johnny and Shannon. I love them. And it's so emotional. Like, the writing is very Wattpad-esque almost. But it is so emotional and it's so deep. They're classified as YA, but I don't understand how they're classified as YA. So it's set in Ireland, so the way they talk, it gives in the beginning of it Binding and Keeping, and I think for the rest of the series, but they have a pronunciation key for names and they have like a glossary of what words mean. So it's so good. It's so good.
So obviously we know what your best sequel of
2024
is.
Best sequel include Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, so Blood and Ash number 2, and then Keeping 13, so Boys of Tommen number 2.
Dude,
What are your best sequels?
Reckless, obviously. Oh, Reckless by Elsie Silver.
Yes.
And then Collided by Lauren Asher, which I know is not everybody's favorite from the Dirty Air series. But I love it. I loved it. And the epilogue of that one, I don't know, I ate it up. Like, I was like, this is beautiful. It made me emotional. Like, I was just like, I felt like I knew them. Like, I felt like...
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, I mean, you read the first Dirty Air series. Like, you know, you're kind of following along behind the scenes of, like, F1. And I don't know if it's the way she wrote these characters. I felt like I was there. Like, I felt like I know them. And, like, physically just, like, was, like, happy for them. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I don't know. I really liked that one. And each book, in my opinion, has gotten deeper. Like, with... What I love about Lauren Asher is she targets a lot of, like, a deeper... emotional thing, like in what is it, The Final Offer. Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
But you know, she targets a lot of deeper emotional things, but also giving you the spice and the romance and everything. So each book has gotten deeper, but I don't know, something about Collided just really clicked with me.
What is a new release that you haven't read yet but want to?
I have many.
Girl, you got a list.
I do. This is my issue because I go down rabbit holes. Freaking Instagram can be like, here's this book, and it's like, okay, screw my TBR. Like, I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole. I'm gonna read it. Like, literally me with the Dirty Air series and the Chestnut Spring series, like, I've literally alternated those books, and it was like, but at the same time I was like collecting like new releases, but I was I'm in my cowboy and F1 era. Like, I've got to read these.
Like, yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But,
and a lot of these are, like, fantasy.
Yeah, and I just haven't been in a fantasy mood. Like, I don't know. Like, I definitely fall. I'm feeling it more. But this summer, all I've really wanted has just been, like, beach reads.
Yeah.
Whether they're, like, actual beach themed or just that fun romance. So, yeah, funny story. I'm just waiting for the right mindset for that book by Emily Henry.
Yeah.
The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. A Touch of Chaos by Scarlett St. Clair. This is, like, book 7 of the Persephone Hades series. Oh, I still haven't read A House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle Jensen. That new book. I heard a lot of really good things about it, and that's why I added it, because I was like, oh, okay, I just want to read it. It's
gotta slide it in on there.
What are yours? You don't have as many.
Mine are Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez.
Good book.
Have you read it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I
have it.
I
have it, but I haven't read it yet. A novel love story, which I'm hoping to start tonight or tomorrow or sometime this week. And then Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood. So those are the ones we have not read that are out.
What about the ones that are coming out as new releases? So what are your anticipated releases for the second half?
So you are the release date queen, as we've stated before. So I have no idea more than just what this, like the one that I have. So the one that I have that I'm really excited for is Daydream by Hannah Grace. I'm super excited for it. I saw that Heather got an ARC copy of it.
so I'm jealous.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, it's beautiful. So I'm looking forward to that release, which is what? October? September?
I thought it was August.
I mean, hey, you know more than me. I'll put it on the screen.
We were supposed to film this video, like, in June.
Yeah.
So, and as we know, June was a really big new release month. So, originally on here I had Reckless by Lauren Roberts, A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood, The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center, and then Daydream by Hannah Grace. They are all out except for Daydream right now. Oh, and I forgot to put, you know what, I should have put Business Casual on here, which is also out, came out yesterday.
Oh my god.
By BK Boris.
Yeah.
So, I guess what I will say will be Daydream and Business Casual.
Yeah.
Because the rest are out. But,
Okay, editing Kelsey here, popping in. We actually lost the whole second half of this video when we originally filmed it. So then we came back to refilm what we had missed, but then also lost the first chunk of that. So you're just missing the whole middle part of all these questions, which stinks because we talked about like our favorite characters and things like that. So I'll put the questions and our answers down below. And so yeah, anyway, happy watching the rest of the video. Sorry about the malfunctions. It's been a whole thing. All right, enjoy the rest of the video.
What is your new favorite author, Kenz?
I have read a handful of new authors this year, starting with Abby Jimenez. I've read 3 of her books this year. I've read 4 of Elsie Silver's books. I've read 3 of Stasia Stark's books and 5 of Lyssa K. Adams' books. So,
dang.
yeah. I have really branched out a little bit, I guess. But obviously, if you can't tell, I like their writing styles because I've continued reading more books by them. Which new authors have you tried, if you've read any?
Well, as you know, you can see from earlier in this video, Jennifer L. Armentrout and Chloe Walsh are definitely my top new favorite authors. I read most of the From Blood and Ash series this year so far, and then every Boys of Tommen book that's out so far I've read. And so I like,
you read those so quick.
I tend to like just dive right in and I don't get out. I read them so fast. So when I'm obsessed with something, I can't do anything else but that. So I don't know what that means, but yeah. But also Kennedy Ryan, I really liked her book Before I Let Go, and I really liked her writing style. So I have Long Shot by her that I think I'm gonna read. And then Lauren Roberts, kind of, sorta. I read Powerless, and we all know that I was obsessed with that in December, so if that doesn't really count. But then I read Powerful and Reckless this year, and I love her writing. She really knows how to write some banter. What is the most beautiful book that you bought this year?
Okay, so physically I bought the Ren and the Holly Library. I'm so mad it's upstairs right now. But it is beautiful. It's got the sprayed blue and yellow edges that are like have stenciling on them, and then you open them up and you have a scene of I'm assuming the main girl and then the city overlooking, and then you take off the cover and you have a library that completely like wraps the outside of the hardcover, and it is so pretty. But then for story-wise, as I've said 1,000 times, and I will say it 1,000 more times on this video, Collided and Reckless. I'm not gonna be so sad if you read these and they don't hit the same way that they hit for me, because I'm like,
you're really hyping them up.
I'm like obsessed with them. I'm not worried about Reckless. I think you will love Reckless. The only one I'm worried about is Collided, because I've seen a handful of people that it's not their favorite because it is a situationship or like. I almost wouldn't say it is. It's like a friends to situationship to lovers, I guess, is kind of like the thing. And I know a lot of people don't like that, but I don't know. There's a sore spot in my heart, or a soft spot in my heart for Liam. So, and the epilogue. I adored the epilogue. So, I'm obsessed with it. Obviously, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
So when you rate it like a 3, I might cry, but
we'll see. Eventually, I will get there.
Yeah, I know.
The story for me that I thought was the most beautiful that I had read this year so far is Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. It is just absolutely like stunning from start to finish. As for like book, like tangible feeling beauty, the house in the Cerulean Sea, the cover, and then the sprayed edges continues the like sunset wraparound, and it is so beautiful.
I really like your version of that one. I haven't seen that one. Have you had any books that have made you cry this year so far?
Oh, girl. I'm an emotional person, and that I am a big empath. So this first one, King of Greed by Anna Huang, had me crying within the first 10 pages. Oh my gosh. It's a marriage in turmoil / second chance. I guess it's just a marriage in turmoil. And so in the beginning, she's like really feeling like she is not a priority in the relationship. And you get to see her like in her thoughts. And it's just so like, wow. Like, oh my gosh, I feel that. Not now, but like I feel that for her.
Guys, I'm going to go ahead and apologize. My dog is being very needy right now. She keeps interrupting us.
Finding 13 and Keeping 13 are definitely very emotional, and there's a lot that goes on in there. And then Into the Dark, the third Magnolia story in the Magnolia Parks universe. I'm not going to say a single thing about what goes on in that book because it is a huge spoiler, but it did have me crying. Wow. Yes. What about you? Did you shed any tears?
So, I don't know what it is about books. Movies can make me cry in a heartbeat. But when it comes to books, I don't know if it's because I'm reading it and I can't physically like see it, because like kind of like how you and I have talked before, like you can really put yourself in the situation. I do that with movies and TV shows, but when it comes to books, sometimes I can. But I think the fact that I'm reading it and like I can easily just flip when I'm getting anxious or about something happening, and can just go ahead and like kind of figure it out. Books don't necessarily make me cry. Some books that have made me at least more emotional than crying would be the 3 memoirs that I read this year. I read Matthew Perry's, I can't even think of the name right now. So Matthew Perry's. I read Jeanette McCurdy's, which is what I'm glad my mom is dead. And then I read Josh Peck's, which I love his title. His is Happy People Are Annoying. Like, I just love that. Like, But, you know, they all deal with, honestly, they all talk about being in the industry. And kind of seeing what they all went through. They all went through their own form of trauma and mental health struggles. And I guess for me, where my interest got piqued was with the documentary that came out about Nickelodeon, Quiet on Set. So that's what sparked me reading, which I already had Josh Peck's memoir before, but it actually got me to read it. And then Jeanette McCurdy's, and then everybody who knows me knows I'm obsessed with Friends. And it took me a little bit to read Matthew Perry's because him dying was so fresh for me. So I finally did, and I literally, Friends is not the same anymore. Like, I almost like don't want people who love Friends to read it, because now it's like you can kind of see, because he talks about, you know, in this episode or in this season I was high on this, and he knows based off his weight, based off his mannerisms, like he could, like, because he's only watched it once. And it doesn't hit the same for him because he can tell what he struggled with during what season and all these things. And you kind of get behind the scenes, and now I'm like, I don't want that to ruin Friends for me because of how much he struggled, you know? So those made me pretty emotional.
So while those books made you emotional, what books made you happy in a non-tear-jerking way? Just overall good vibes, good happiness.
Chestnut Springs books. I have, the only one I haven't read is Hopeless, which I do plan on starting that soon. But they all have their own, I want to say, like, you know, romance books. I feel like every character, or all of our main characters are gonna, for most books, are gonna go through something else besides the romance. At least the good authors that write good plots, they're all gonna tackle something different. And I definitely think Elsie Silver does this. I feel like both the main male character and the female main character have something to tackle besides just the romance. So I don't know, I just enjoyed Chestnut Springs. Like, the Bromance Book Club series, I read all 5. They just had me giggling, like 100% giggling like a schoolgirl. Because not even because it's like giggling because like, oh my god, like that was so sweet, haha, so cute. I'm giggling at the banter between the boys, like their friendship, like the friendship that these guys have, and the stupid little silly things that they say to each other. You're just like, oh, that was so cute. Like, but those are just such a good escape book. Like, honestly, I couldn't even tell you if they were like amazing writing, right? I just enjoyed them so much. So I'm excited for you to read those eventually, one day. What books have made you happy? And I'm sure, you know, Binding and Magnolia Parks and all those have also made you happy and not just emotional. But
But aside from those, the Heartstopper series by Alice Oseman have made me just like so happy and like laughing and like giggling. It's so cute. And yes, they deal with like super, you know, deep topics, but it has such a beautiful way of talking about it and everything. But it's just Nick and Charlie and their dynamic and their friend group is just so heartwarming. And I started the show and it's super cute, and so it's just overall good vibes. I definitely like it.
So, if you guys have been here since the beginning, we made a video called 24 Books for 2024, where we each picked 12 books that we want to finish by the end of 2024. So we thought, you know, we'd give ourselves a little update, you know, mid-year, how much we've read off of our lists.
Yes.
And Kelsey is whooping my butt. That's
yes,
all I gotta
have
say.
read 7 out of 12 of those books. I've over halfway, so right about on track for where we are in the year. How about you, Kenz? Where you read?
Not 7. I've read 2. I've read 2. And I've started 2 others. Those are also the 2 that I said I was reading in like episode 1 and 2 of this.
Into the Weeds by P.P. Morrison.
So I'll get there. I my goal is at least get 6 out of the 12 read.
Yeah, at least halfway.
And I'm almost there.
But
I do almost have another one. I almost do have another one, I think. Maybe not.
But knowing us and how easily influenced we get to read certain books, what are some books that are not on that list that you want to read this year?
So, as I was telling you before, I have this weird thing, and when I find a book, I get heavily influenced, I would say, almost in a way, I get heavily influenced by people to read a book, but then I also will get discouraged to read a book if too many people are like it's a book that I've hyped up and too many people are like, I didn't like it. Too many people I know didn't like it. And I try not to do that just because there are plenty of times that like booktubers that I watch, they don't like the books that I love. Like books I've given 4.5 stars, they've given 3. So I try not to do that, but like I don't want to disappoint myself. So like, for example, like I haven't finished Crescent City 3. I haven't even started Crescent City 3. So once I find a book that I don't really know a lot about, but then somebody who's on YouTube picks it up and they want to start reading it, I get a little bit like, oh crap, I gotta read this before them, just so I don't watch their video about it.
Yeah, just so you don't get it like ruined for you.
Yeah. And recently Rachel picked up Trial of the Sun Queen, and it is on.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's on her TBR for this month, and I'm like, crap, I really gotta read it. So I want to read that whole series this year, or the 3 books that are out right now. So that is my goal. This year is to get those 3 books done. At least the first 2. At least the first 2. Yeah, that, and then obviously any of my books that are on the 12.
And the
the whole list before.
Yeah.
What about you? Which ones do you want to read this year?
So aside from the list, I'm also like a serial series reader, I guess you could say. So like I constantly am just picking up the first book in a series, and now I have like a huge list. So I'm hoping to knock out some series this year. Specifically Chestnut Springs, because you know you've been hyping it up this whole video.
I know.
and 2, you know, 'tis the season of cowboys, you know.
Yes,
so
we're in our cowboy era. Okay. I mean,
we are.
Let's be real. Twisters just came out. Glen Powell, come on, cowboy era.
Yes, so that, and also the Hades and Persephone saga. So I started that, and I have the first Hades book to read now. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure we'll do an end of year wrap up to see our 12 and if we read the books that we want to read right now.
Speaking of, reading and all, because that's all we do. We set reading goals this year.
Yes.
How is yours going?
So I had set my goal to 60 books this year, which I don't know why I set it so low. I think it was to feel good about myself. So I've already surpassed it. I'm at 73 books. So I decided to bump it up to 100. So now my goal is 100 books. And so I think I'm still ahead in a way.
Yeah, you should be ahead because I'm on 60. I have read 63 out of 100. And I'm still ahead. So
stay tuned to see us complete our reading goals. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We're being optimistic here.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for all the videos that are to come of us reading and talking about books.
Yeah, of course. And we'll be more on track, hopefully.
Yeah. We're back on track. We're back. For now.
Yeah, for now.
For now, life happens. But thank you for watching and sticking with us and joining us for the rest of the year and more books to come.